Get up, want to hit you up with a little bit of an update. So this is what you do when you forget to bring your jack. I need Chase's help to get these last two bolts out of here because I don't have anything to support the underneath of the trans with. I can't just jack it up and put a tire under it. And we've got a donor trans. We've got a donor. We have a donor. See, we're going to put those 12 rims on it. That should be honky-dory. That thing actually was going to do nothing but mow. And then, hopefully, I won't be breaking rims and shearing key stock. And really hoping I'm not splitting the case, which doesn't happen too often, but... oh, it'll be nice. Oh. So I've often complained about how newer AYPs and stuff, I don't like how thin their frames are in the back. It's justified. Absolutely justified. This thin little C-channel frame on a garden tractor. Yeah. Somebody snapped that thing off. Well, Chase, do you notice what I notice about the wheel stance? It's going to be a little narrower. The transmission's bolted at the same point, and there are spacers, but those hubs pull the wheel that way more. Oh God, that's a bad frame. Looks like you didn't weld under this. Look at that BS. And that doesn't stand for Briggs & Stratton, I'll tell you what. Don't mind me! I'm just fixing the tractor! Trust me, I know what I'm doing! Dinky revival. Dinky needs some love, Dinky's gonna get it. My throttle setup actually failed. Idle's nice and low. And we got the good stuff. And a new seat. Because this has about had it. There's not much left of this seat. Extra suspension, I guess. Time for a little bit of an update here. So I took this little wheel here and I put a bolt and a nut and some washers through it, and that goes on my drill. And then I use that, and this snap ring puller from Tractor Supply really sucked the ears, so I kind of carefully went around it and shaved these pulls up to be a little smaller, and now they slip right into the snap rings, which made it a lot easier to get the snap ring off, because I can actually pry it open without it exploding out of the tool. And now I got that off, I'm soaking this with PB Blaster, hitting it with the torch. I'm going to try seeing if I can use this pry bar and get this thing off. It'd be nice if I could not need the angle grinder once. This is the least rusted one I've ever seen, so I'm really hopeful. Got a deep cycle battery in the truck. Got, you know, the USA sound system. Got a can making my dinger not bing. Yes! DMX and the tape deck, CD player. And I have my dad hold this over here and pound with that heavy pipe wrench while I was holding the pulley up. Took about 6 pounds and it dropped right out. Easiest pulley removal I've ever done. So apparently these things are grease filled, so we're going to inspectigate that, and I have some Lucas whatever super thick awesome. That looks like oil to me. Still, we're going to top it off. But yeah, that's oil, that's not grease. Alright, well, I've rust-proofed part of my tailgate. Now, I gotta take this rear end off, but the wheels are welded to the axles. Fun. It'll be nice to have working brakes, but yeah, there's a... So yeah, that bolt hole blew out. That bolt hole blew out. And, that all gave out. I actually have another case though, so it'll be a pain in the ass to use wheels on it, but I can probably rebuild this thing. See, what I can do here is put this on the jack, and then I can lower this on these tires here, and then the tractor will fall over. And then I can take the bolts out in the transmission, and the transmission won't fall, and then I can just pull the jack up and slowly release it. I can reach up on there, undo my shifting doohickey and my belt. This was stupid, and I should have done this before I did the thing. But, you know, oh, this would be easier to do if everything is still bolted up. I need 2 hands for this. New problem. Can't slide the transmission forward, side to side, or backwards. I'm gonna have to find a way to prop this thing up and then remove the jack. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm lucky that got me home. Oh. Now I just got to pull my shifter out and we'll be ready for the transplant. I'm putting an actual shifter, actually I probably should just pull the one there, but nah, I pulled one already out from a different fender shifter of this style. Took my dad to the store while this was drying. I'm going to put another layer on top of it because this broke with the plastic wall I had before. That throttle setup I did a video on, that failed, so we're redoing it. You know, maybe someday I should put a integral hood prop in Dinky. Instead of just find a piece of wood or something and prop it up and stuff. I really let Dinky go. Needs an overhaul. I've had the PP blast everything to get it off. And effectively get the shifter, I gotta take the gas tank and stuff off. Much easier accessing. So our Russ has expanded this piece and this no longer fits in here, so I can't get this end nut off. I'm gonna have to try pounding it out. Dinky's ultra custom shifting linkage. That was frustrating to make. So I ran into a problem. The input pulley here is bigger than stock. I'm gonna have to make another custom one, 7 inches. Yay! I need to go get a hub and Tractor Supply. Yay! This ain't gonna be done today. Boo! Now for a little intermission. To head to the store on a mission. Gotta get my hub. Gotta do some welding and that'll be done. By the way, I got new tires on the truck. Same tires I have in the mud train, only they're 31 inches instead of 35. No rub. Now when I say F, you say yeah. F, yeah. F, yeah. Look at that stance I'm gonna have. And I can put the rim where it cups out here. I'm gonna get the wide stance, but I can keep the open differential. I know a lot of people like lock differential. I do not. I find open differential just as capable if you can keep your motor speed up. Because when you're in the slop mud, both wheels are slipping. So I actually really like open differential because it controls so much better. I mean, if I could have limited slip, yay. But there's only a very rare 2300 that'll give me that. So I like open. The crickets are screeching, the light is leaving, you cannot be the... So we're using my Redneck battery powered angle grinder here to cut this off at angle. So this can go here into this hole I've expanded. And yeah, it'll work, but not stupid. Also, my brakes are set up. The final step will be to make sure the shifter works correctly, but you know, this is welded in from before. You can see this, the cookie seams. Lowered transmission. Well, I should say the rear end of Dinky is lowered as before. This is going in at an angle. And the front side of the transmission shifted a little to the left, which is good because it makes my little double stack piece here actually line up better. See how it looks there. And on this one, again, because of that hole it being shifted a little, I just dealt with that by bolting this on the other side. And it lined up great. Yeah, shifting linkage is the last part to do. Hopefully this shifter works correctly in here. I'm going to be really upset if Dinky's frame is just weird and no shifter can work correctly in it. Look, this problem exists again. it's not possible to make it line up the shift, and the shifter wants to go below the transmission, which it's actually hitting it. This was the same problem I had with the last shifter I put on Dinky, and that's why I had to make that custom job. It was all weird, and it looks like I have to put that damn thing back on, because this was pulled off of one of these Craftsmans, but apparently they moved the damn shifter. If you look from that point to here, that's about 9 inches. Let's compare that to Dinky's frame. From that point to here is about 7 inches. The shifter is back 2 inches. We just took a measurement here from that line right there, from where the dashboard mounts out, where the pedal goes down on the bottom of the frame to the rear, and it was 35 inches. And we're going to take that same measurement here. It is 33 inches. Dinky's entire frame is 2 inches shorter. Dinky really is Dinky. I don't think I feel like doing this today, but a potential mod in the future to correct Dinky. Oh, damn it, then the shifter won't line up with the fenders. I was going to say, because I could cut this hunk out of a frame and weld that forwards 2 inches and drill a hole over there. And that would do like that, but then the shifter would be 2 inches forwards. Dinky was not intended to fender shift 6 gears, or I don't think it's intended to fender shift at all. At some point I'm probably going to have to pull that transmission out and do some cool stuff to it. I'm having some serious shifting issues. Also, I was wondering why Dinky was running so terrible. Then I remembered I don't have a gas tank. Wasn't an issue when I was doing this testing. The gas tank was where the battery currently is. Bit of an update. I don't think Dinky is ever going to properly shift 6 gears. And it's not like I can just go to the nut buster and cut that slit bigger, because that is welded to the other one, and that's the only thing I have like that. So I'm going to take the transmission apart, and I'm just going to remove some gears. Maybe I can make it to be the 4-speed I always wanted. So looks like we're doing some stuff. Metallic glitter oil grease. Now I need to remove the gears. So that position's neutral. That's reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is first gear. I want first gear. I want third gear. I want 6th gear, and then I want a gear in between. I about got this thing figured out. I got it how I want for shifting. So we have first, third, 6th, then 4th for that bog, if I can ever get into 4th. Then motorcycles. And these gears I'm not really going to hit. And I had to change it. So there's a little washer thing that goes on a... So you have your neutral here, and then you have your gear, and there's a dip in it with a washer that looks like this. And that's so your fork will snap in place. So it'll snap here, and then this gear is supposed to be in the end, so it doesn't have one. So I actually put this gear on backwards, so the ring would be on this side. This gear's on backwards, the ring on this side. And then on this gear, I had to flip it back normal again and remove the gear, so this could go in there like it's supposed to. And I actually don't know where this bearing goes. I have no idea where this bearing goes. So I got to do a little bit more of a touch-up with the grease cleaning, and then we're ready to assemble. I'm glad DeWalt puts a 10 billion lumen flashlight in the end of their drill. She smooths, turns butter, yes. Shift pattern be stupid, yes. But it's practical for my application, yes. Is this stuff still wet? It's kind of mushy. Yeah, I've got so much of the greases on me. It's the morning and it's time to get working on Dinky. I'm up early eating fireballs, drinking some peach tea. What the hell is all this crap? That looks like that's gonna make me sit higher. Looks like I might be making my own holes. Because I just want a normal seat setup. I don't want whatever the hell's going on here. Well, my eyeballs say those holes are not going to line up with those holes, and I'm going to have to make new holes. Damn it. Yeah, I would say the old seat's a little worn, wouldn't you? You know what, I think I'm going to use all that grease in my bed and put it on here when this is done, because this is no spring chicken itself. Far better than the seat I have, but it's no spring chicken. Something nice that they did here, I think this is actually supposed to be a template for making a new seat to fit, which I'm going to use that. I should have just used that seat to reupholster this one. I've destroyed that one. Those holes are halfway from where I need them to be. That is a problem. And there's that annoying stamping. I'm still questioning how I should proceed from here. I'm not sure. I was clearly a little off center, but I guess I'm just gonna drill a little hole here, a little hole here, and if I can get it where I can slip that piece through, I can weld it in the other side and just get this done. So it looks like I had some issues marking my holes. I think I'm just gonna roll with it and make that one last hole line up. Crooked seat or not, it's minor. Can you see how crooked that is? I can, especially there. Again, I can see it there. Oh, I really see it that way. You can see it's just cocked that way. Guess I'm gonna weld it in place. Maybe someday get a seat that isn't crooked. Get a proper seat for it that actually fits. Alright, now to slather this all in grease and reupholster it, I'm going to put some Loctite, not Loctite, but liquid nails on the seam as I press it in. And you know, it's like almost 80 out, pretty humid. But I swear the sky looks like it's about 45 and nice. Hopefully that means it's time where we'll get some fall weather. Yeah, she's about ready. So I gotta clean my liquid nails up a little bit with a rag. I think that's gonna hold damn well. And we're gonna put T-Rex tape on this seat because that duct tape's indestructible. Seat mounted, and it looks like it sits nice and low, how it should. That looks like it would make it sit way higher. It definitely would. I can see that it'd be higher. That's a lot lower. You know, a while back I had somebody trying to get me to try to sponsor me or whatever, but it was like some damn credit card cell phone app, and I didn't even own a cell phone back then. You know, I'm probably never going to really get big enough to be all sponsored, but if I were, I wish DeWalt would sponsor me. I freaking love every DeWalt tool I've ever used, at least with this whole brushless thing. Like, if one of those companies like Olight or something like that tried to sponsor me, I'd be like, oh, great, I got some Chinese junk, but this is good American-made quality, and they're amazing, and they've changed my life. I mean, how often can you say that the third power setting on your impact is emergency use only because it's very likely to break your impact adapters? All my Makita adapters were blown apart by this thing. I currently have an DeWalt one that's so far hanging up, but I haven't done any critical applications. My friend Jake took his brakes off, or took a brakes off a junkyard cart this, and it was actually snapping the bolts off when he put it in the setting 3. So this thing has a lot of power for how small of an impact it is. And while we're on this tangent, I will criticize it. Criticism 1, this is a DeWalt adapter, and it is way too long, and this higher impact one is very long. The old one I gave to my friend Jake was about more like the here, and I guess DeWalt has an even shorter series now, but this has been issues with this long adapter and how much longer this tool is. I have a hard time getting under Dinky's transmission with it. I have to jack it up or lift it up. Also, I'd like to say I love this battery. Looks like it's starting to crack here. I haven't charged it in like 3 weeks. It's getting to the point where I may have to charge it today. But I wanted to see how much I could get out of this running it down, and this thing has done a lot. Like that junkyard trip, it's still in the same charge from then. Have another Rocky DA trick. Say you're in a situation where you want to drive this impact to something, but you need to have pressure behind her, it just won't bite. Well, you got another about the same size as your deep well. You can actually put it in backwards. And I can screw this up with one hand. Yeah, see, then that falls in. And then you can put the pressure you can need, and then when you're done you can just pop it out by turning it over. It won't get stuck because there's no pressure putting it in there. Even if it does, you can still just ram something through the bottom of that. That's I mean, obviously the proper solution would be get a shallow well, but we're lazy. Fun fact, I have recorded a couple clips a few times because I try to avoid having cussing and videos I deem to have educational value. You can learn something from this. I would consider this educational, so I'd want it to be appropriate for all age groups and religious folks and all that. And, you know, I actually don't, I can always do the bleep out option, but if I catch it ahead of time, I like to do it before that because, I mean, honestly, if I bleep it out, you still know what the heck I'm saying. While we're looking here, in case you haven't seen every single 9,000th video I've made of Dinky, you can see that, my belt guide is actually over here, and it's bent the heckin' back. And that is a perfect guide. And I think this one again is bent out real bad over here. And the belt does not pop off the trans pulley. It is actually really hard to put on. And while we're on the topic of me being family friendly, you know, I've never had a drink of any kind of alcohol. The most hardcore thing I do is coffee a few times a year, and my borderline addiction with sweet tea. Actually, I take that back. It's more than just sweet tea. I mean, I got peach tea over there. That's technically still the same thing, but it's a little overgrown, but oh, it's a lot overgrown. My ment's being murdered by other nature stuff. Oh, there's some mint. Yeah, look how tall my mint is. You can't smell it, but it smells good. I need to see if this actually goes enough to properly engage, but this should be reverse, neutral, first, second, third, and then it kind of goes in the fourth. I don't know if we're fully clicked in though. Gotta get a gas tank hooked up and see. Not quite what I was hoping for. We're gonna see if we can adjust that to work the way I want. Making this longer wasn't good enough, but I used one of my old holes from when I had the 6-speed and I was trying to make 6 gears work. And yeah, I can shift into all 4 desired gears now, not including neutral and reverse. So yeah, it's about ready to go. I'm happy. You know, this looks like it's gonna clear the shifter. Makes me feel a little thirsty. All right, oh, Dinky still feels higher than normal. I guess my old seat cushion's destroyed completely. Dinky is driving. Dinky is driving. I gotta deal with its front wheels before they don't exist. Neutral. Yeah, first gear feels pretty rapid with these big wheels. Oh, I know part of why Dinky feels like I'm sitting up so high. Big wheels. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I actually managed to drain my battery dead. Turns out using my truck as a boombox for 2 days without starting it can kill the battery. I barely had enough power to start at that time. I let it charge for half an hour, then beat on it for another 2 hours. Gotta love those yellow tops, but only having one doesn't keep up with the demands I put on it sometimes. I mean, hell, I can leave my dome light on overnight and start it the next day without even realizing I did it. Actually, this ain't a bad ratio, and I was missing first gear. This is first gear. I'll take that as an idle, that ain't bad. I rode down the Tractor Supply, flats or not, got a couple of slime tubes. We're gonna pop these wheelbarrow wheels off, get them all tubed up, and whoo-hoo, we're gonna start going fast. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I lost my inner wheel bearing before my tire quit holding air, because this is on there so good. I've been fighting this for about 10 minutes. You got to see the climax of the situation. where I win the battle and I win the girls and the famous and the happy ending ever after. I hope, I'm gonna try pounding this back in shape, but I'm actually worried even with an inner tube this is gonna be an issue. That rim's messed up. As far as bearings go, I keep Dinky prepared for that eventuality, because these bearings aren't the best. So I always keep a few. Well, you can definitely see both how I destroyed the rim and the inner tube that's inside the rim. I think that's a combination of slime and dirt from fails on the trails. That's definitely got to be the slime dried up. It's like paper mesh. That is a lot of BS in that wheel. Oh. It's not a very big wheel. It's impressive. I'm hoping this time will be different, and it's definitely why I got the slime tube, but I have a 100% success rate in destroying inner tubes when I try installing them. Well, I usually try to get other people to do it. It's always when I'm trying to use my screwdrivers to pop the lip over, I always end up pinching the inner tube and stabbing a hole through it. It never fails, not one time. I failed on that wheel. It doesn't hold air. I put air in, it hisses and goes flat immediately. I'm gonna try one more time. This one, the bead actually set on kinda. It was able to hold, like, you know, if I kept it under 10 PSI, it was fine, but when I tried doing that 3 PSI stuff I like to do, the bead would fail. It never set strong. I don't know what the hell they do in a car shop. I just tried adding, making a new bead out of Loctite, or liquid nails, and ratchet strapped it. Works for drywall, maybe it'll work for a wheel. And that leaves me one more inner tube. I'm gonna take this off and try putting it on again. Burning the midnight oil. I hope I didn't pop it. If I did, I'm done with this rim. It's about out of life. Keep your eyes peeled. Must be a Christmas miracle, second coming of Jesus. Something very serious, because I got that inner tube in without popping it. I don't know if I've ever done that. I dinged out dents as best as I could with a pipe wrench, and then I liquid nails around that, because I'm gonna hope the liquid nails prevents the from popping off. And I'm going crazy in the trail, popping 30-foot jumps and who knows what other crazy I'd be doing. So I'd say Dinky's ready to go. This is the GPS in my truck, which has a speedometer built into it. We're gonna head on down to the movie theater and use that runway like I used to do in the past to do those side views, and Dinky was a single cylinder and didn't go all that fast. We're gonna see how fast Dinky goes and actually get a measurement. Also, I need to tweak Dinky's linkage for the brake. It got bent from past events and it does not put near enough pressure to effectively stop me. It turns out Dinky's headlights don't work, and I need to drive over to a light source and likely reconnect the positive wire. That is much more like it. I do not like how high Dinky sits. Yeah, Dinky's pretty zippy. Oh, that's scary one hand. Oh, the throttle's stuck. I need to go figure out what's going on there. I see what's going on here. I went a little too wild with the JB weld, and the parts that are supposed to slide through the throttle setup no longer slide. I gotta make them slide again. Oh, I think I took the vice grips out of the toolbox. They'd be really handy right now. Flat edge screwdriver might do the job. So I had my throttle hooked up wrong. I had the spring going over to here. It's actually supposed to be a back spring to pull the throttle away from the governor thing. I had forgotten that. Also, I need some WD-40 or something real bad, because this is just so sticky that if it revs up high, it stays up high. No speed test tonight. I'll have to be in another video. We're gonna let this thing home on idle safely. Because I do not like losing control of my pedal. Dinky may not be in the right state right now, but there is a deep level of satisfaction I'm getting from cruising along in Dinky. Getting shook up because I don't have my low tire pressures like I like to have. That's not the part that's relaxing. That's the part that makes me lose my train of thought, but it is nice to be able to just cruise along at night with my light bar. Oh, I can't wait to have Dinky right. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Excited. What is this thing in my yard? Although I guess now that my house has been bought up, the landlord has been doing stuff with the property.
I'm gonna need to locate an oil that doesn't dry up overnight, like WD-40, but that's more like it. That is not. Might need to take that whole thing off and clean it. Like unscrew the thing and take my drill bit in there and get all the crud out. It's just not completely resetting. It's so close, but it doesn't. Makes me kind of want to move the spring back further. That would actually remedy that. I really moved the spring that time. That's not a full reset. That's still idling a bit high. That's I could probably live with that. The throttle response to the pedal seems great. Just it gets screwy with the governor. This is the test of can I live with that. Will it stay plugging like this? Yeah. I might mess with it in the morning, but honestly I can live with that. Slow governor response isn't as big of a deal. I just need instant pedal response. Governor is my cruise control. My cruise control takes a bit to slow down. That's not the end of the world. And that should wear in unless I have something really screwed up. Oh, better hide these tools from the elements overnight.